Five companies launching IPO roadshows this morning, including Klarna, the buy now, pay later company, planning to offer a little more than 34 million shares, priced between $35 and $37 each, valuing the company nearly $14 billion. This would be the company's second attempt at an IPO this year after delaying plans following April's tariff announcements. My next guest says the IPO market is getting ready to meet its moment of truth. Joining me now is Dan Primack. He's the business editor at Axios. Dan, what do you think? The market is more receptive this time around, even if valuations have changed over time for Klarna, huh?
Yeah, look, I think the markets have actually been receptive for a while. I think you've had companies that have been a little scared to go out. You know, even if you look last year when there were relatively few IPOs, the ones that went generally performed well. The ones that went earlier this year, you know, there was that stoppage after the tariff announcement, the Liberation Day thing, including Klarna. But a lot of the other companies that had been planning to go public back in April ultimately did and have mostly been successful. But as you said, 5 companies launched their roadshows this morning. Traditionally, you do get this big boost after Labor Day. And I think kind of the excuses are going away for these companies.
Is this sort of the breakout from the holdback that we saw? I mean, is this, like you said, sometimes this does happen in a seasonality environment, but under this administration, we thought we were going to see deals and deals everywhere with loosened regulations. We haven't had it.
No, we haven't. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see this really steady stream for the next 2 months or 2.5, right? It's kind of the Labor Day to Thanksgiving push. We're not going to get what we had, 4 years ago with hundreds of companies going public, but we should be getting, 5, 6 a week starting next week when these companies on the roadshow actually begin to price. That's what everybody's expecting. And there is this incredibly deep pipeline. You've got companies like Klarna, which are these venture capital backed unicorn companies. Private equity has a ton. And there's some closely held ones also that are just sitting around. There's a lot of companies that should be going public right now. And as I said, I think the excuses have gone away. You've got near record high equity prices, despite some things that have happened in the market. You've got not tariff certainty, but kind of for a lot of these companies, worst case scenario, you get what we had last week, which were the Trump tariffs. Best case, the tariffs come off completely. And then you obviously have the Fed signaling that it's going to cut rates.
And so when you're looking ahead, what types of companies, sectors, or company specific do you think we can look forward to for those that don't cover the market as closely as you do?
I mean, tech is the big one, right? And if you want to put Klarna into that, I mean, it's a fintech company,
Sure.
Buy now, pay later, but it's essentially a tech company. Tech is where most of these are going to come from because that's where the huge backup is, because that's what raised so much money in the private markets.
Absolutely. We'll see what we get for the coming year ahead. I guess we got 3 months left to go in this actual year. Dan Primack, thank you so much for joining us to talk about the IPO pipeline ahead.